ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Samam Bonam, Chapter 13, Brahma stealing the boys and calves, verse number 29 and verse number 30. So we'll recite verse number 30. दृष्ट्वा ततत्स्नेहवशो अस्मृतात्मा स गोव्रजो अत्यात्मपदुर्गमार्ग द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेराश्रुपयाजवैन दृष्ट्वा तत्स्नेहवशो अस्मृतात्मा स गोव्रजो अत्यात्मदुर्गमार्ग द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेराश्रुपयाजवेन दृष्ट्वा तत्स्नेहवशो अस्मृतात्मा स गोव्रजो अत्यात्मपदुर्गमार्ग द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेरश्रुपयाजवेन दृष्ट्वा ततस्नेहवशो स्मृतात्मा स गोव्रजोऽत्यात्मपदुर्गमार्गः द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेराश्रुपयाजवेन दृष्ट्वा ततस्नेहवशो अस्मृतात्मा गोव्रजो अत्यात्मपदुर्गमार्ग द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेरश्रुपयाजवेन। माताजी दृष्ट्वा ततस्नेहवशो अस्मृतात्मा स गोव्रजो अत्यात्मपदुर्गमार्ग द्वीपात् कुकुद्ग्रीव उदास्य पुच्छो अगाधुन्कृतेरश्रुपयाजवेन दृष्ट्वा. When the cows saw their calves below, atha thereafter, tat snehavaša, because of increased love for the calves, asmritatma, as if they had forgotten themselves, Sah, that Govraja, herd of cows, Atiyatmapadurga Marga, escaping their caretakers because of increased affection for the calves. Although the way was very rough and hard, Dvipat, pairs of legs together, Kakut Griva, their humps moving with their necks, Udasya Pucha, raising their heads and tails, Agat came, Hunkrite, lowing very loudly, Asrupaya, with milk flowing from their nipples, Javena, very forcibly. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When the cows saw their own calves from the top of Govardhan hill, they forgot themselves and their caretakers because of increased affection. And although the path was very rough, they ran toward their calves with great anxiety, each running as if with one pair of legs, their milk bags full and flowing with milk, their heads and tails raised, and their humps moving with their necks. They ran forcefully until they reached their calves to feed them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Generally, the calves and cows are pastured separately. The elderly men take care of the cows, and the small children see to the calves. This time, however, the cows immediately forgot their position as soon as they saw the calves below Govardhan hill, and they ran with great force, their tails erect and their front and hind legs joined until they reached their calves. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, verse number 29 and 30, translation. Thereafter, while pasturing atop Govardhan hill, the cows looked down to find some green grass and saw their calves pasturing near Vrindavan, not very far away. When the cows saw their own calves from the top of Govardhan hill, they forgot themselves and their caretakers because of increased affection. And although the path was very rough, they ran toward their calves with great anxiety, each running as if with one pair of legs, their milk bags full and flowing with milk, their heads and tails raised, and their humps moving with their necks. They ran forcefully until they reached their calves to feed them. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this astonishing pastime of what happened in Sri Vrindavan Dham during that 1 year when Brahma had stolen the calves and the cowherd boys. During that 1 year, Krishna himself expanded as various cowherd boys and the respective calves, which means Krishna took the form, the age, the character, the qualities, the habits of all the cowherd boys and calves. So now in Vrindavan, generally the elderly gopis, they would love Krishna more than their own sons every day. But during this 1 year, the mothers, they loved their sons same as Yashoda loves Krishna. Equal. That was astonishing. Secondly, during this 1 year, the mothers and fathers, their love for their own sons kept on increasing day by day. That was another astonishing feature. Then third, when the elder calves who are with the cowherd boys, they returned to the Goshala, the cows. So there are newborn calves who stay in the Goshala, who take milk of mother cow. And there are elder calves who go with cowherd boys and who eat grass. They no longer take milk from mother cow. So when the cows every day return, they first go to their newborn calves who are dependent on them for milk. And the newborn calves drink mother's milk. But now in the Goshala, when the cows would return, instead of going to the newborn calves, they'll go to the elder calves and feed them their milk. These elder calves are off milk and they take grass, and they already taken grass. Their stomach is full, but still mother cow would have so much affection that they would go to the elder calves and feed them their milk and lick their body, neglecting the newborn calves, ignoring the newborn calves. Eventually they'll feed them also, but first they'll go to these elder calves. And this was happening in all Goshalas. So Nanda Maharaj and Balaram and Yashoda Maiya and Rohini Mata and all the cowherd men and the cowherd women, when they saw the astonishing behavior of Gomata, who has started neglecting their newborn calf and instead feeding milk to the elder calves who don't need milk, who have just eaten grass, they were all bewildered. They were all surprised that why this Gomata is behaving like this. But in their own house, the ladies, the mothers were also behaving in the same way. The mothers were more affectionate to these cowherd boys who are returning from forest, who are Krishna's friends, than their newborn babies. The mothers are day by day increasing their affection towards these cowherd boys. Whole day they are spending time in fondling them, caressing them, kissing them, bathing them, feeding them and embracing them and taking them on their laps and talking to them. In every house this is happening. Amazing. And one more astonishing feature is that for this 1 year, there was no Krishna Katha. Generally the boys, when they return from the forest, very eagerly they will tell their mothers what Krishna did today in the forest, which demon he killed, what was the appearance of the demon, and how the action scene took place, and how the climax scene took place, and how did the murder took place. But now for 1 year, these coward boys didn't spoke anything what Krishna did in the forest. Why? Because Krishna has taken the form of coward boy and he was shy speaking about his own pastimes. So for 1 year they didn't speak what happened in the forest. So whole of Vrindavan, there is such an astonishing atmosphere. All Brajvasis, their love for their boys increased so much, or cows, their love for the calves increased so much. So what used to happen between Yashoda and Krishna in Nanda Bhavan started happening all the corners of Vrindavan. These elderly gopis, whenever they would see Krishna, they would feel that, oh, if Krishna was my son, it would be so nice. I would love him so much. Wish I had Krishna as my son. Now Krishna fulfilled their desire. Now they have Krishna as their son. And they have great love and affection for their son who is Krishna now. So Krishna Prem, one of the impetus for Krishna Prem is Krishna's beautiful form, his blackish body, and then his paraphernalia like yellow dhoti and peacock feather and flute and Vaijanti mala. That is one of the impetus. Now in this verse we are hearing another aspect of love which is independent of this form, which is independent of this peacock feather and flute and blackish body and yellow dhoti. Krishna in the form of elder calves is with Krishna grazing in Vrindavan. So Krishna in Shyam Sundar form is with Krishna in many calves form, individuals, and they are grazing in Vrindavan. So for 1 year Krishna took care of himself by himself. So the cowherd men, they have mother cow, elder cows, mother cows, Gomata, on the top of Govardhan. The cowherd men are taking care of mother cows. And the small boys, they are taking care of elder calves who are off the milk, who are eating grass. And they are below Govardhan. And the cows are on the top of Govardhan. So while eating grass and pasturing on the top of Govardhan, mother cows, they look below Govardhan to see if there is some green grass. They are searching for fresh, green, tasty grass. So when they look down the hill to search for green grass, their eyes fall on their calves. And their affection for their calves increases so much, their love increases so much that generally they obey their caretakers. But today they ran down the Govardhan hill to meet their calves, which generally they don't do. Even other times the mother cow sees the calves. But she knows these calves are eating grass. They don't need my milk. So they don't run. But this time the affection is so high, so deep, that they run towards their calves. The coward men are stopping them and calling them and showing their stick and pulling their ropes, but they overcome all such resistances. And the Govardhan Hill path is very rough. There are stones and there are thorns and there are rough mud and there are bushes and trees, and they are not seeing down. They are not watching the ground that there are some obstacles and I should avoid. They are seeing straight to their calves. Their necks are as much as possible extended towards the calves. Their heads are raised, their tails are raised, and their feet is being bruised by the stones and the thorns. They are getting wounded. But in spite of the rough path, they are running very fast. So much so that here Shukadeva Goswami says it appears they have only one pair of legs. There are four pairs, but they are running so fast that you can see only one pair. It's as if they have one pair. So much love that on a rough path they run with tails and heads high and milk dripping from their udders, milk bags, and they are mooing with great affection. And they come down and they start licking the calves and start feeding them their milk. And the coward men up are frustrated that they couldn't control the cows. Cows are generally very peaceful and calm, and they are used to taking care of them every day. But today they find it very astonishing. This is natural love for Krishna. A living entity has natural love for Krishna. That's why Krishna is all attractive. So even when Krishna comes without flute and peacock feather and without yellow dhoti and not blackish body, still the living entity would find that natural affection for Krishna. So even if we have no knowledge that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have no understanding, but still when we chant His holy name, we take His beautiful darshan, we hear His beautiful pastimes, we get attracted. And that attraction is a proof that on constitutional position, we are natural part and parcels of Krishna. That's why that attraction is there. Natural. Just like a baby who is crying. You put the baby in the lap of mother, he naturally feels peaceful and calm and stops crying. How does baby identify? Because there is something natural experience and the feeling of safety and calm. You put the same baby in some Miss India's lap, beautiful, or some rich lady's lap wearing 1 lakh rupee sari, the baby will not keep quiet. But you put in mother's lap, even if that day she is wearing burqa, covered her whole body, which baby has never seen, still the baby will feel calm. Why? Because natural love is there, natural affection is there. And the same way mother feels love for the child, even if the child is naughty, even if the child breaks some furniture and gives a loss to the mother, or even if child is unwell or handicapped, or child is passing urine and stool on mother's lap, still mother loves the child. So imagine millions and millions of mothers together. That is the love Krishna has for us. Not one, not two, millions of mothers together. And as a reciprocation, we should also love Krishna. So when we connect to Him through Srimad Bhagavatam, through deities, through holy name, through service, we feel that experience. We feel that yes, I am at safe place, I am at good shelter, I am joyful, I am peaceful. There is a natural attraction towards Krishna. When Prahlad Maharaj, 5-year-old boy, after the first semester, came from Gurukul and met Hiranyakashipu, his father, Hiranyakashipu asked him, "Tell me, what you learnt?" And Prahlad Maharaj expressed that the most important teaching I have is that we should serve Vishnu. And Hiranyakashipu got upset. And he told his teacher, Sanda and Amarka. Sanda and Amarka were Gurukul teachers of Prahlad Maharaj. They both were PhDs in meat eating, intoxication, gambling and illicit sex. So they were PhD teachers. They were disciples of Shukracharya. So Hiranyakashipu told Sanda Amarka, "Look, my boy is being spoiled. You should be careful in your school. Some Vaishnavas from IYF are coming there in disguise and preaching or doing book distribution or DYS course. They may be coming in pant shirt, hiding their shikha and tilak, but you should be very careful. Not allow them to mix with my boy. He was such a nice demon, now he's got spoiled." So Hiranyakashipu told Sanda Amarka to be careful, not to allow Vaishnavas in disguise to come to the school. So many Hiranyakashipus even today are there. I remember I went to Bharatiya Vidyapit College of Engineering in Kharghar with sweet rice, halwa, peda sandesh, Bhagavad Gita and Krishna book, and gave to the principal, who received me very well, who spoke to me very nicely. Then with all that we gave him a letter. We want to conduct a program in your college, art of mind control. And he said no. All wasted. We were thinking, "Arey, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book, halwa, sweet rice," and all wasted in the sense he didn't respond. He said no. We appeared twice, approached him twice, he said no. So there are cases like that. People don't like Vaishnavas preaching, sadhus preaching. But then what to do? So we had some boys we collected at the gate, and there was one Chinese corner, small shop, Chinese corner. His father used to stay there, and he had a small room where he used to keep gym equipment. His son used to do gym, but now his son was out of station doing job somewhere else. So we started preaching outside the college under a tree, actually under a tree. And during rainy time, the water would be till the knee. So this person saw us. He said, "Why don't you use my gym? My son is not here." And right outside the college, we did preaching in gym. So you'll find both classes of people, some who are happy to help the preacher, some who are completely against, atheist, asuras. So Hiranyakashipu was very much against. So he told Sanda Amarka, "You be very, very careful. Don't allow sadhus to come inside." So Santa Amarka took Prahlad to the school and very mildly they spoke to him. He said, "Look, Prahlad, who is coming and preaching to you? Tell me the name. We just want the name, that's all." Because Santa Amarka couldn't figure out if somebody was coming, then he should be preaching to the other boys also. But there's only one boy who is spoiled, all else are good demons. Only one is spoiled. So who is the one who is coming and meeting you in private and preaching to you? Please tell us the names. We just want the name, because Santa Amarka thought if they gave the name to Hiranyakashipu, they will get reward. And Hiranyakashipu will kill their devotee and they will get reward. Said, "Look, Prahlad, your other classmates, they are not spoiled. They don't speak deviant philosophy. They speak pure demonic philosophy. Why you speak like this? You are just 5-year-old. So somebody is teaching you, because Prahlad Maharaj used to speak very nice Vaishnava philosophy. So they are our enemies who come in disguise and they preach you. You give the names of the enemies." So when Prahlad Maharaj heard this, he responded. He said, "I have heard people who are under Maya, they discriminate between enemies and friends. That this is my enemy, this is my friend, this is my enemy, this is my friend." And when I heard this, I didn't actually realize this to be true. But today I am seeing it personally. You both are supposed to be Panditas, Pandita Samadarshina, scholars, Brahmanas. But from your mouth I am hearing this enemy and friend. Any person who has not realized Super Soul in the heart will see others as enemies and friends. But if anybody has realized Super Soul in the heart, he sees Super Soul everywhere. He doesn't see his enemy and friend. And such a person will never be peaceful. He will always be angry and envious and anxious. So today I am seeing it with my eyes. As far as spoiling me is concerned, let me tell you, nobody spoiled me. Nobody came to preach to me. No Vaishnavas in disguise. I am naturally getting attracted to Krishna as iron naturally gets attracted to magnet. Prahlad Maharaj uses this example. What is there in magnet? And what is there in iron? That when they come close, the iron gets attracted to magnet. That's the feature of magnet which is attractive to the iron. In the same way, Krishna is all attractive. The very name Krishna means all attractive. So when we, the pieces of iron, come close to Krishna in the form of holy name, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of Mahaprasadam, in the form of devotional service, in the form of deity, we get attracted. Only when the iron is rusted iron means pure iron coming in contact with oxygen, ferrous oxide gets rusted, then the attraction reduces. So only when the pure living entity comes in contact with three modes, it becomes rusted, dusted. The dust is covering, the three modes are covering lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, material desires, material ambition, material knowledge, material attachments, material goals. They are covering. So even when we are in close to Radha Ras Bihari, we feel less attracted and we feel our attachments pulling us away. So the only way is to clean this dust, clean this rust, clean our anarthas, remove these anarthas. come out of the three modes, and again our natural attraction for Krishna will be revealed. And that's what's been happening with the mother cows. They already love Krishna. And now Krishna has taken the form of the calves, and that love is visible. No longer they are exclusively attached to the Shyam Sundar form with peacock feather flute and yellow dhoti, blackish body. They are equally attracted to their own calves, even though there is no peacock feather, no Vaijanti mala, no blackish body, no yellow dhoti, no flute. Because there is natural feeling, natural affection. That's very great aspect of love. That the living entity has natural love for Krishna, who may come in a form unknown to the living entity. Still that affection will be there, the feeling will be there. When Ishwar Puri first time met Nimai Pandit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed that love and that affection. And he was surprised. He was shocked. And he told Nimai Pandit, look, I have very special affection for Krishna. And I don't have that affection for any other living entity. But when I see you, I feel the same affection. This is generally not possible. I cannot have that affection for any other living entity which I have for Krishna. But when I see you, I have the same feeling. So I conclude that you are Krishna himself. So he identified Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna, even though he is in golden form, not in black form. Even though he doesn't have a peacock feather, even though he doesn't have a flute. Because he has that feeling which he would have when he will come in presence of Krishna. This happened with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Vrindavan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled to Vrindavan and he came to Mathura, he met one Brahmana, Shandilya Brahmana, and he took him to the 12 forest of Vrindavan. And there, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking in the forest of Vrindavan, he passed by through some cows. And that cows could recognize that he is Shyam Sundar Krishna. And they started moving. And they all ran from all the sides and came to Krishna and came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and started licking his body out of affection. And the milk was coming out, dripping. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling very great joy. And with great difficulty, the cowherd men, they separated the cows from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great difficulty. Then as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking, some deers and does and bucks were there. They saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their love came out and they came and started fearlessly licking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling so great affectionate towards them. Then as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting the holy name, the birds, the cuckoos, the swans, they started chanting the holy name of Krishna. And the peacock started dancing in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The trees and creepers in ecstasy, their twigs were raising like hair stand on end, and honey was dripping as if they are crying. And the branches came down, offered presentations of flowers and fruits to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and embraced each tree and each creeper as if it's a long lost friend. He embraced the peacocks, he embraced the deers, he embraced the cows, he embraced the calves. And all the Brajavasis, they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they felt ecstatic love for him. So that is such a wonderful atmosphere. That this aspect of love where Krishna comes without his usual form, still the love is naturally felt, the affection is expressed and reciprocated. In fact, a very funny incident happened there in Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit under Imli Tala till afternoon and chant his rounds. Then would go to Akrur Tirtha, and there many people would come and meet him. So there was one householder, Krishna Das. He met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He got so attached, he left his family, wife, children, to stay with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and served him. He will carry his water pot. So one day in Akrur Tirtha, many crowd were coming. And they were all discussing. And they came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, "You didn't go?" He said, "Where?" He said, "To Kalia Lake." He said, "Why?" He said, "Krishna is giving darshan there. Krishna has come. He is dancing on Kalia." Chaitanya smiled. He said, "Yes, you are correct." So for 3 days, crowds and crowds of people were coming and talking that we saw Krishna today, we saw Krishna today. Actually, they were correct. They saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw Krishna, but they didn't realize it. They were referring to somebody else. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's assistant Balbhadra Bhattacharya, he couldn't resist his curiosity. So one day he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Why don't we go to Kalia to see Krishna?" And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mildly slapped him. Said, "You fool, you just sit here, one day you will see Krishna." So the next day morning, some respectable Brajavasis were come there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them, "Did you see Krishna? I heard since last 3 days Krishna is giving darshan." They all started laughing. He said, "In the evening when it is dark, the boatman takes his boat to go in the Yamuna. And he has a torch which he hangs on the top of the boat on a bamboo so that he can see. And because of the waves of Yamuna, the boat is moving. So people think Kalia is moving, and the torch means the hoods on Kalia, diamonds on hoods of Kalia. So they think Krishna is dancing on Kalia. So all people are foolish. But all these people who came to Akrur Tirtha, they saw Krishna. They are correct." Chaitanya said, "How you can say they are correct? Because that was a boatman." He said, "They saw you, they saw Krishna." Chaitanya closed his eyes. He said, "No, no, 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 no. Don't call me Krishna. I am not Krishna. I am insignificant living entity." They said, "You are Narayana himself." That's Mayavad philosophy, equating Jiva with Narayana. But they said, "No, we are not equating you to Narayana in this Mayavad way. We have seen the cows are getting attracted to you. They don't leave your presence. The deers are getting attracted to you. The does are getting attracted to you. The trees and creepers are getting attracted to you. The peacock and cuckoos and pigeons are getting attracted to you. The water of Yamuna is getting attracted to you. The flowers are getting attracted to you. The fruits are getting attracted to you. The branches of the trees are bending to pay you obeisances. And we are getting attracted to you. And when we are associating with you, when we are chanting your name, we are feeling ecstatic love for Krishna." So this can happen only when Krishna is present in Vrindavan. No longer anybody is angry or lusty or envious. Everywhere there is very nice cooperation and loving relationships. This can only happen when Krishna is present. So even though you are golden in form, you are not black in form. Even though you don't have peacock feather, even you don't have yellow dhoti, even if you don't have flute, but you are son of Nanda Maharaj. We know that. So we are fortunate that we saw Krishna today. So they realize that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna, Shyam Sundar, son of Nanda Maharaj. Again, because there is natural feeling of love which is felt and which is being expressed. The affection is expressed and increasing. Srivas Pandit in Mayapur, whenever he would meet Nimai Pandit, he would get attracted to his beautiful form as much as he would get attracted to Krishna. So he would like to spend time with Nimai Pandit. But then Nimai Pandit at that time, in his pastime, he was not a devotee, he was a proud scholar. So he would challenge Srivas Pandit on Shastras and do Prajalpa, unwanted talk about grammar and other things. So Srivas Pandit would say, oh, I should not associate with him. Asat Sangat Tyaga Ei Vaishnavachar. He is not a devotee, I should not spend time with him. But then he is so beautiful, my love is increasing for him, I want to spend time with him. So he was in a big dilemma. His love was natural, but Krishna didn't allow him to understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is same as Krishna at that time. Yog Maya was covering. But Yog Maya cannot cover that natural love, that is being expressed. So Srivas Pandit's love for Krishna and Srivas Pandit's love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is same. But he is in dilemma that he is not a Vaishnava at that time. So I should not associate with him. But I cannot avoid associating with him. I am feeling so happiness, so pleasure, so joy, so much love for him. I can't stop thinking about him. And he is so beautiful and so intelligent. So there is only one solution to this dilemma. Every day Srivas Pandit would pray to Krishna to make Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a devotee of Krishna. Every day he would pray to Krishna to make Krishna Krishna conscious. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes Krishna conscious, then I will be able to freely associate with him and other Vaishnavas will not speak against me. If he doesn't become Krishna conscious, I can't associate with him, otherwise all Vaishnavas will chastise me and speak ill about me that he whole day associates with a Vaishnava, a Satsanga. So in order to freely associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted him to become Krishna conscious. So generally in sadhaka stage is opposite. Somebody is Krishna conscious, you associate. But here it is, if you want to associate, you make him Krishna conscious. It's fueling the attachment. That's because there is natural love. And each one of us have that natural love, which is independent of knowledge. But somehow that natural love is covered by anarthas. And this whole presence in devotee association, this whole presence in ISKCON is so that our natural love for Krishna comes out. Our natural affection for Krishna comes out. And that will happen when we get purified. So our whole attempt in our sadhana and seva is not to give a good performance or to have some materially successful results, but our whole attempt to purify ourselves. Our chanting, our Mangalarti, our obeisances, our kirtan, our leading classes, doing management or preaching, whatever we do is for purifying our heart, so that these anarthas, these coverings go away and our natural love is expressed to Krishna. So this process of purification, not some material qualification. So we should always bear this in mind, that I should get purified of my anarthas. Not that I come in devotee association and increase my anarthas, or I do devotional service and increase my anarthas. I give up lust as a brahmachari and increase my desire for fame. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, desire for fame is like desiring for stool of a pig. A pig anyway eats stool. Stool of a pig is stool of stool. So somebody gives up lusty affairs for practicing celibacy, but now he wants to become a famous brahmachari, that I am number one brahmachari of the world. He is getting more involved in lusty affairs because fame is more subtle lust. The stool of pig. So we should be careful that I keep following the process for my purification. So in pure heart, Krishna Prem is revealed. And we have that opportunity in this human form of life. In the association of devotees in ISKCON, we have that opportunity in this life, we can develop Krishna Prem. So we are in the process, having Shraddha, having faith, chanting the holy name, associating with devotees, offering services, following 4 regulative principles. Now sincerely we continue this process so that our natural love for Krishna comes out. And that's success of human form of life, that's success of all our occupation, that's success of all our endeavors. Okay, we will end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments or any questions, you may please ask. हाँ कौशल्य पुत्र.
हरे कृष्ण. थैंक यू प्रभु जी, बहुत ज़्यादा सुंदर क्लास दी. प्रभु जी, मेरा एक प्रश्न था. जैसे आपने बताया कि वृंदावन में कुछ जो यात्री लोग थे वो कृष्णा का दर्शन करने के लिए गए थे, लेकिन बलभद्र भट्टाचार्य वो तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु के असिस्टेंट थे, लेकिन भगवान के साथ में रहते हुए भी उनको क्या मालूम नहीं था कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु भगवान है, इसके लिए वो भी देखने के लिए जा रहे थे?
एक अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, नेवर अंडर एस्टिमेट द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ फूल्स व्हेन इन मेजॉरिटी. जब बहुत सारे मूर्ख लोग हो जाते हैं एक साथ तो बहुत शक्तिशाली हो जाते हैं. तो एक बुद्धिमान को भी विडंबना में डाल सकते हैं. तो बलभद्र भट्टाचार्य कमजोर पड़ गए. जब बहुत सारे लोग बोलने लगे कि कृष्णा उधर है, कृष्णा उधर है, कृष्णा उधर है, इनका मन भ्रमित हो गया. उन्होंने कहा हम भी जाएं कृष्ण को देखने के लिए. तो ये हमको सिखाने के लिए लीला है कि भगवान के साथ रहकर भी पतन हो सकता है. इसलिए हमें भगवान के साथ रहना है और ध्यान भी देना है कि हम बरोबर शिष्टाचार पालन कर रहे हैं. और हमको सिखाने के लिए कि गुरु ने अपने शिष्य की रक्षा करना चाहिए, जैसे चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने बलभद्र भट्टाचार्य की रक्षा किया. बलभद्र भट्टाचार्य की इच्छा थी, लेकिन चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने इच्छा को मना कर दिया. तो कभी कभी शिष्य की इच्छा होती है और गुरु सोचता है इसको मना करूं तो बुरा लग जाएगा, फिर मेरा काउंसलिंग छोड़ देगा, या मुझे एनवलप देना बंद कर देगा, या घर पे बुला के पनीर नहीं खिलाएगा. तो एक गुरु ने ये सब नहीं सोचना चाहिए. शिष्य के सही के लिए जो भी बोलना है बोलना चाहिए, सत्य बोलना चाहिए, कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करना चाहिए. तो हजारों लाखों लोग बोल रहे हैं उधर कृष्णा है, तो गुरु भी भ्रमित हो गया तो क्या मतलब. तो जब तक भौतिक दुनिया में तब तक भ्रमित होने का संभावना है. इसके लिए बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक रहना चाहिए. ठीक है.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण.
First of all, I would seek your forgiveness. You chanted words in one way and I chanted another way, so that I should not have done. My question is, you beautifully explained that a brahmachari should not desire for fame and we should work for removing our anarthas. And same time we are in preaching movement, and many times Prabhupada would also force, he would ask his devotees, where is the result, because if purity is there, then result has to come. So many times we get more hooked on to results, that I'm preaching or I'm doing some seva, but result is not coming, people are not coming. So how to understand the balance between these two, that at one time I am to remove my anarthas and at the same time bring more people and still remain protected from this desire of fame.
Yeah, so firstly you chanted the verse very nicely. No problem, there is no offense. I am not used to chanting in that way. So you continue, no problem. Secondly, yes, we should focus on our service and the result will be given by Krishna. So the result is not by our material talent. Result is given by Krishna when we sincerely do service. Purity is the force. And whatever intelligence we have been given, we utilize that. So, with purity and nice sadhana, I go out for book distribution, books will go. But I should have intelligence where to put the table. At a crowded place or at Shamshan Ghat. So 12 hours standing in Shamshan Ghat is devotional service because I am trying to distribute books. Adventurous. But we should know I should go in a crowded place. So that's common intelligence we should use. But we should know results don't depend only on my talent, my skills, my intelligence, but it depends on Krishna. He gives the result. So Krishna told Arjuna to fight. He didn't tell him to win. He told him to fight. Victory was given by Krishna to Arjuna. So result means it's received based on our effort. Received by Krishna. So we water the root and the fruit is a result. We don't do anything to the fruit. We don't create the fruit. We take care of the root of the tree. And phal, fruit and flower is the result. In the same way, number of books, number of temples, number of boys, number of devotees is a result which Krishna gives when we serve Him. Right? So we use our intelligence and our purity and we do our service. Right? So we should, when we preach, we should make sure that we preach in such a way that those who come in our contact, they learn and get inspired to keep Krishna in the center of their life. So we are promoting Krishna, not promoting ourselves. So International Society for Krishna Consciousness, not Prabhuji consciousness. So we don't replace Krishna's position in their life with ourselves. We don't say, don't worry, I will take care. We say, pray to Krishna, He will take care. Right? Yesterday I was explaining. We don't try to become hero in somebody's life. Krishna is hero in their life and we have to make them realize it. So we don't try to promote ourselves. That's fame or that's disciple ownership or followers. So we promote Krishna in their life, not ourselves. So Krishna is hero. So we should be careful about that. Okay? Any more questions? Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
बहुत बढ़िया। आपने बताया कि श्रीवास जी ने भगवान से बहुत सारी प्रार्थना की, तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो है ये वैष्णव बनना चाहिए, भक्त बनना चाहिए और इसी प्रकार से क्रिया करनी चाहिए। आज भी देखा जाता है कि जैसे भगवान ने मक्खन खाया तो कोई आदमी आज ने मक्खन खाने की चोरी करता या चोर नहीं बना मथुरा में या वृंदावन में, लेकिन नवद्वीप में या देखा कि वहाँ पर जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो एक्टिविटी की थी वो ऐसे भक्त वहाँ निकले अवल बावल जो कि आज भी उसको फॉलो करते हैं, क्योंकि कहते कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने ऐसे कहा था, चैतन्य महाप्रभु ऐसे कहा था। तो भगवान होते हुए वो जानते हैं कि कलयुग पतित है और इनकी बुद्धि नहीं है, फिर ये थोड़ी सी छोटी सी लीला प्रारंभ में क्यों की चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने, जो कि इतना बहुत बड़ा इफेक्ट आज भी संसार के ऊपर है। आज भी बंगाल में ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं जो उसका यादगार करते हैं। तो प्रभु जी अब थोड़ा बताइए। हरे कृष्ण।
अपर संप्रदाय के बारे में जो पूछ रहे हैं, तो माया का प्रभाव होता है कि हर अच्छी चीज का डुप्लीकेट बनता है दुनिया में। क्यों डुप्लीकेट बनता है? क्योंकि वो अच्छी चीज़ का डिमांड होता है मार्केट में। अभी आईफोन है, इसका डुप्लीकेट बनेगा मार्केट में? बनेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि ओरिजिनल का डिमांड है। जो चीज़ का डिमांड नहीं होता है उसका डुप्लीकेट नहीं बनता है। जैसे ग्रामोफोन है, उसका डुप्लीकेट मिलेगा मार्केट? अरे असली नहीं बिक रहा है तो डुप्लीकेट बना के कौन बेचेगा? तो डुप्लीकेट उसी का बनता है जिसका ओरिजिनल डिमांड में होता है। तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु का डिमांड है, इसके लिए डुप्लीकेट बन रहे हैं, अपसंप्रदाय बन रहे हैं। तो ये माया का प्रभाव से होता है कि लोग धोखा देते हैं दूसरों को ओरिजिनल के नाम पे। चीटर एंड चीटेड। तो जिनको धोखा खाना है उनके लिए भी भगवान सुविधा बनाते हैं। जिनको असली प्रोडक्ट चाहिए उनके लिए भगवान थोड़ा तपस्या का तरीका बनाते हैं। जिनको सस्ता में चाहिए और धोखा होना है उनके लिए भगवान धोखेबाज बनाते हैं, ताकि ये लोग सस्ते के चक्कर में असली से दूर चले जाएं और डिस्टर्ब नहीं करें। नहीं तो ये सस्ते के चक्कर में असली के पास आएंगे और डिस्टर्ब करेंगे। इनका परीक्षा होता है ये। तो माया के प्रभाव से ही अपसंप्रदाय बनते हैं, और काल के प्रभाव से हर संप्रदाय में अशुद्धता होने का संभावना रहता है। इसके लिए भगवान कृष्ण अर्जुन को वापस ज्ञान दिए कि मैं परंपरा वापस स्थापित कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि जो मैं विवस्वान को दिया था वो टूट गया। तो काल के प्रभाव से हर शुद्ध चीज़ अशुद्ध होती है, और उसको संभालने के लिए कोई आचार्य या भगवान खुद आते हैं अवतार के रूप में। तो ये काल का प्रभाव रहेगा। काल जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ता है ना, डिग्रेडेशन होता है, कमी होता है। तो ऐसा धोखेबाज लोग बनते हैं। सैफरन कलर देखिए कितना प्रभावशाली है और इस पे आदर है, लेकिन इसका लोग दुरुपयोग करते हैं, धोखेबाज बनते हैं। गवर्नमेंट ने पुराने नोट बंद करके नए नोट बनाए, लेकिन अभी नए नोट के जाली बनने लगे। आपको मालूम है जिस दिन गवर्नमेंट ने बंद किया था उसके बाद मैराथन आया था दिसंबर में, और हमारे दादर स्टेशन पे एक व्यक्ति 2000 रुपये का कलर जेरोक्स लेके आया, और हमारे भक्तों ने ले लिया और 1900 रुपया छुट्टा वापस दिया और गीता लेके गया हो, और इधर आके आ गया तो मालूम पड़ा 2000 भी गया, गीता भी गया। कलर जेरोक्स पहचानना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन नया नया था और भक्त लोग तो उत्साह में कि गीता तो जा रहा है। और उस समय 100 के नोट मिल नहीं रहे थे, बहुत मुश्किल से मिल रहे थे। इसको 1900 रुपया देना पड़ा, वो भी एक नुकसान हो गया कि छुट्टा बहुत मुश्किल से मिल रहा था। तो जो भी असली चीज़ डिमांड होती है ना, उसका डुप्लीकेट बनता ही है दुनिया में। ये काल और माया का प्रभाव है। तो इसलिए हमारे आचार्य लोग हमको बहुत अच्छी तरह समझा के गए हैं कैसे बचना है इससे। तो हमें कोशिश करना चाहिए कि हम प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस, सही संप्रदाय फॉलो करें। इस्कॉन में है, इधर भी हमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हम गलत रास्ते पर नहीं चले जाएं, कुछ गलत फिलॉसफी नहीं ऐड हो जाए, कुछ गलत शिष्टाचार नहीं ऐड हो जाए, कुछ गलत व्यवहार नहीं ऐड हो जाए, कुछ गलत नियम नहीं ऐड हो जाए। इसलिए हमें बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक मेंटेन करना चाहिए स्टैंडर्ड।
थैंक यू।
ठीक है, यह शरद।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the very wonderful class. So, towards the end, when you are talking about giving up lust and giving up fame, so you are comparing that how brahmachari has come to join the temple giving up lust, and then you are mentioning that but somehow he has got entangled into the fame business. So rather than you were mentioning about that, so rather than purifying, he is becoming more entangled. Like my understanding, just wanted to check that like these anarthas, it goes into like decreasing order, like like what is something to be given up first, like we take vows in the initiation also, is the something gross, right? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So these things comes first, and then as I understand is because name, fame, glory is subtle, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is like subtle sex, very difficult as you mentioned to give up. But we cannot expect these things to immediately get revealed to us. So you mean to say, should a person give up practicing his vows of celibacy just because he has now started developing fame? Or should he then continue because at least he has given up lusty desires, gross way? If you can please clarify.
Well, one should not give up following vows of celibacy. One should give up the reason why he is following. If the reason is because he wants to become famous number one brahmachari on the planet, right? That reason he has to avoid. That I want to follow this because it's good for my spiritual advancement, because my spiritual master has instructed, and I am able to continue my devotional service peacefully. So give up the reason that I want to do this because I want to become famous. So that one should introspect. That is in any other aspect of Krishna consciousness. I want to lead kirtan so that people know I am a famous singer. I want to give class so that people know I am a good scholar. That we should give up. We should continue the devotional service with the understanding that I want to lead kirtan to please Krishna. I want to give a class to please Krishna, to purify myself. I want to read scriptures to purify myself. So we have to shift that attempt, the purpose of the attempt. That is not for my promotion, this is for my purification. Yes.
Because like as you mentioned, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also mentions in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also we hear that these are like weeds, like it is not noticed initially, so it's going to come, eventually only. Like in the beginning, like we also, like if I go back, like I didn't had like no idea about that these things may also come up. So while we are watering the seed, eventually the weed starts growing. So like what to do then? Like because then like there are these two things comes into picture, that okay, should I give this gross way or should I deal with the subtle things? So because subtle things are very tough, very difficult to give up. So how to understand?
No, so this is not an initial class to initial audience. This is audience who is every day doing Mangalarati, chanting 16 rounds, practicing since few years. So now we should still sit on initial class, right? So now we should start thinking, if this we have not thought about, that okay, this aspect also has to be taken care, right? So it was first time I am meeting all of you and you are first time coming to ISKCON. I may not say that. I would say chant and be happy, right? So now this is not an initial class. So we have to go on that level also, that some weeds look same as seeds. Some weeds look same as seed, but there an intelligent person should discriminate and uproot the weeds. Otherwise your everyday chanting is watering the weed rather than the seed, and the seed becomes choked up and the weeds keep increasing. And one day we say, ye to acha bhakt tha. So why we want tha? We want hai, acha bhakt hai. We don't want tha, right? So you tell me, when should we talk about this? We'll wait for a few years. So we have to start talking about this. Yeah, it's tough, but that's bhakti. So in Gundicha margin pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleans the whole temple. Then he again cleans and still finds dust. And these are subtle anarthas. So gross brooming you do, then after a few years you don't do subtle. Same day you do subtle also. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us that gross anarthas, gross bad behavior, I stop meat eating, I stop cigarettes, I stop alcohol, but then I have to go beyond this and clean my heart further for subtle anarthas. So those who feel they are not ready, they ignore that part of the class, that's okay. Anyway, you don't remember the whole class after the class, that's okay. And those who feel that this is for me, they take it up, right? Okay? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can I just add something
Yeah.
to this discussion? That actually this desire for name and fame comes from bhakti, imperfectly practiced, right? And by diligently following the instructions given to us, is gradually removed. And we do progress, but it's the main thing is that when we commit Vaishnava aparad, because of that desire for name and fame, thinking we are superior to others, then we tend to fall into Vaishnava aparad. And this is what caused the fall down of the deified devotee. But Madhurya Kadambini very systematically give the stages for eradication and nullification of these anarthas. And I think by stage of ruchi, desire for name and fame goes away. But Vaishnava aparad is the most tough to deal with, and that's what caused the fall down of the inattentive practitioner of devotional service.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mother. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada की जय. हरे कृष्णा. आपको बोलना है प्रभु जी कुछ? माइक.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for inspiring class. That books are the basis, utility is the principle, purity is the force, and preaching is the essence. So if one may desire as a famous as the devotee of Krishna for the service of Krishna, not for himself. So, for example, if there is a good doctor and he becomes a famous, then patients can be benefited by taking his association. Similarly, if one becomes a devotee of Krishna and he becomes a famous, then the people who want to take shelter of him and get delivered for the betterment, that can be possible. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam